Okay. Hi, I'm Travis. I'm on a podcast. This isn't my podcast. This is my brother Zac and my friend Jay, and this is their podcast. And I was telling Zac a little before we started that I was kind of nervous about doing this, and he was like, "Yeah, it's no big deal." By the way, you have to introduce it and yourself and everything. So I'm supposed to say that this is the Metaphiles, the podcast that talks to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Did I do all right?
It was good. Now
Was it that kind of meta, the way I did it?
it was, but that's kind of what we do here.
All right.
Now do the rest of it.
There was more of it?
The rest of the show. You're the guest, so do the show.
All right. So today we're talking about dead air. You already ruined it.
The joke was...
This is just a colossal mess already.
Oh no.
How does this normally go, Jay? I don't think I can.
This is about it.
Okay.
This is how bad it usually goes.
It's
No.
There's not normally like basically another me.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so I'm Travis. I'm the guest on today's Metaphiles podcast. These are my hosts, Zac and Jay. And I'm going to stop talking and let them
You
do
definitely don't
the podcast.
have
And
to do the whole podcast.
I'll help them do the podcast.
Zach.
I
guest.
just thought I'll get my brother on.
He'll do the podcast.
He'll do
I'll
it.
take the day off.
Yeah.
All right.
I do so many of these.
Mm-hmm. 101, I guess.
Well,
Or 100, and now this will be 101.
I was hoping this would be number one of views.
If this ever airs,
Yeah. So far, I don't love the way I'm being treated on it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I've endeared myself to the audience by talking about the behind-the-scenes nervousness and
Yes, you
how
seem
self-conscious and uncomfortable I am with having to start your podcast for you.
you seem very much like a Hugh Grant type right now in all the ways
Right.
that indicates.
Okay.
Jay?
Sure, I can do the podcast.
Okay, great. So we just relax.
The topic, UFOs, was
Yes.
chosen by Travis.
Yes.
That's right. It is our 101st episode. My own brother, who lives in the same home as me, has finally agreed to join us.
We like to start the podcast episodes out with guilt.
Yes.
That's always the best way to start.
Well, no, I know you will only appear on something if 100 of them has happened.
Yeah, 100 has to have already happened for me to get involved in anything.
That's why you were in the pilot of that show, The 100.
No, I was in the 101st episode of it. I was like the new guy that came in.
Right.
And
Hey, they forgot me.
Yeah. It said 100, but I was there too, actually, in the other universe or whatever that's about.
Yeah.
You're credited the whole time, like starring, eventually
I got paid.
starring.
I got paid for every one of them, yeah.
Eventually
Yeah.
starring. Eventually starring Oscar winner.
In time, introducing.
Yeah. We'll let you know. 5 minutes till Helen Hunt.
That show's about aliens, I think. Or
I was
UFOs
going
or
to.
something, right?
Going to say the same. You
Oh,
see where?
yeah.
Yeah. It's
You got a pretty good guess.
pretty
too,
good.
Well, I do the 101st one so I can just really get rolling immediately and seem very competent.
It's about the momentum.
Yeah.
The 100 and Travis. I think it was about aliens. I don't know if we saw UFOs in it or not. And we are not necessarily talking about aliens.
That's true, yeah.
Today.
UFOs are not
We don't know.
synonymous with aliens.
Interesting.
They're unidentified.
Right. And I can't say that this podcast is here to either debunk or bunk.
Rebunk.
I didn't come on to bunk anything.
And
This is a bunk-free zone as far as I'm concerned.
you will not be
I mean,
asked.
it's your podcast again, so maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, we
but-
do have this segment which is called Bunk Zone, but
shit.
we'll get to that.
Okay.
Welcome to the bunk zone.
And normally that's just where Jay and
bunk
I
tank.
lay in a bunk bed and talk about our hopes and dreams.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
And it's kind of a 2-person bunk bed, so we'll have
We had
to
a
figure
bunk
it out.
bed for a while.
Yes, we did.
Is that too much personal information, or do you do that on here?
I have already revealed my
We-
lifetime's worth of beds.
Okay.
Zach
Oh,
has
good.
described all the beds he's ever had.
That's
I am
true.
currently sleeping in my 101st bed.
Right. Which was slept in by 100 people
Yeah,
before you
I
got
guess.
to
Yeah, that would make sense.
Well,
Western bed.
let us formally.
That's a good way to do it. That's smart.
A which what now?
You're fine.
Okay.
You're saying something extremely important, apparently.
Well, I'd like to get to the question that I'm sure everybody is waiting for, which is Jay
Yeah.
and Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like UFOs?
Yes. I like the idea of UFOs.
I would mirror that response. That makes it easier for me.
So you would perhaps say that you want to believe, Jay?
Well, no, I didn't say that, so he's not saying that.
Huh? Oh, well, I already know you do.
Oh, well, you didn't ask me that, though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot. They don't know what I know that you know.
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe come back on 201.
We just need to do a brother spin-off podcast.
Uh-huh.
That's why I came on here, actually. It's,
Call it.
franchising.
Starring, it's not even you. It's like Paul Giamatti.
Well, it's the Brothers podcast, but it's just me for 100 episodes. And
And then I come on.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Was Paul Giamatti in a show called Brothers? There was a show
He's just
called
my
Brothers.
go-to actor guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just my go-to.
But Jay, you want to believe?
No, I want to understand. I think there's, a big part of UFOs is explanations that don't involve them being aliens. I find it intriguing, like the psychological question of it.
Oh, me too, for sure.
Because that seem more reasonable and like the first part to investigate to me, as far as like Occam's razor or like illumination, process of illumination.
The X-Files would have been a much duller show if that had been the case. Or
They're
like,
just real every
do you,
time.
like, what's up with you believing in UFOs? And the guy's like, I don't know. I guess I got abused or something. And he's like, all right, Scully, let's go home.
Yeah, that's not our department, so best of luck. We got to go find a chupacabra, so hope it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in that aspect of it too. I don't know that I believe or disbelieve in them. I like the idea of the thing I like about them. I think is just the idea of something that is visible, but is like incongruent with our reality. The mystery of that is like compelling to me for some reason. The unknowableness of it.
Yeah. To the degree where if we ever fully know, they're like, here's what they were. It's aliens. They look like this. They do this. They talk about these kinds of things.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul
They all
Giamatti
look
hangs
like
out
Paul
with them.
Giamatti. He was one.
Take me to your leader. Take me to your leader.
Yeah.
Take me to your leader.
It's not too bad.
I'll try it again in a little while. It'll be even better.
Okay.
Then we don't care about UFOs anymore. Because then we
This
just care about aliens.
Paul Giamatti. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Then that's just their cars.
Yeah. And I don't care about cars.
I don't
on
either.
Earth, so.
The news cycle, it goes. It's a week later, and it's completely something new. It's like, oh yeah, UFOs. I don't care.
And maybe this whole episode is speculative, but maybe if any aliens are watching and you drive UFOs, maybe just get ready to, like, a week after you've landed, a lot of people being like, what you got under the hood on that thing, man? What's that, a Hemi? And just be ready to answer those questions, and you'll endear yourself to a whole swath of the human population.
By all means, take that week to just relax and kind of check things out.
Yeah.
After that, you're going to start getting questions.
Yeah, I mean, check out The Sopranos. Like,
Yeah, you could probably finish that in a week.
if you're really putting the time in.
Yeah.
Who knows how much they have to sleep.
Their time might not even work the same way. They have never seen The Sopranos, but then they've already seen it.
Yeah. Which,
know?
Wow.
but
Schrodinger's
Yeah,
Sopranos. Wow.
Schrodinger's DVDs.
But in the blink of an eye that it will take you to consume the entirety of Sopranos, still skip Saints of Newark. Just
Yeah, don't bother with that.
that's not something that the human race is necessarily.
They
proud
know
of.
that already, though, and it's blanked from their both memory and projected future.
I hope they have the technology to do that to us.
At least. Like, if I could ask for one thing from our extraterrestrial visitors, it would be to do the, like, Men in Black thing.
Reverse Men in Black.
Yeah,
us.
do the Men in Black thing so I don't have to remember that movie exists.
Yeah. And I would say same for everyone involved, but then they might end up making the movie.
They would probably just make it again,
Oh,
right?
no.
Oh, no.
It was like that movie, The Butterfly Effect. There's like no way to change it.
Right.
How do you fix it? Anyways,
Okay.
who's seen a UFO? Has either of you guys? Okay.
I was literally just about to,
Well, as in
launch in.
Yeah, come on.
much
No.
like UFOs may
I've
launch.
not seen one.
I'm going to tell
myself.
a story
Oh,
that I don't believe I've ever told you.
I don't think so.
I've been saving it for this very topic.
Wow.
There was a time in Glenville, West Virginia,
Gilbert
County, when Travis and I and a friend of ours were sitting outside of Travis and I's childhood home. Full disclosure, I had drank a beer or two.
Ooh,
I had smoked
3 even.
a pot's worth.
a Potsworth.
I was not wasted. I was not zooted.
I love when stories start like this. He hasn't even gotten to what the story's about yet.
I was not baked.
You were not hammed,
I was not zonked.
not junked.
I was no reefer fiend.
Your spam filter was clear.
And nor had it been CC'd or BCC'd.
Oh,
And we were discussing aliens. The three of us. I, quietly within my own mind, thought
perfectly sound and sober mind.
it was not
Yes.
creamed.
Okay.
Nor I thought, and I thought out. And I said, aliens, if you can hear my thoughts right now, show me a little something. Don't go crazy on me or anything.
Just the
Not
shoulder.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I'm not looking for the full ET.
Yeah. Okay.
A close encounter of the 12th kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's keep our distance.
Yeah. A somewhat close
Yeah.
semi-encounter.
If you got some weird song to play for me, let's just skip that.
Skip that. Don't make me mess with my mashed potatoes. I'm
Right.
very hungry.
I'm trying to eat this.
I did smoke a
guys.
little bit of weed, and I do want to eat the
Yeah,
mashed potatoes.
pretty hungry.
Not 2 minutes later, Jay. I look out to the night sky, and I see 3 little lights, and they're zooming and twirling around in looping, loop-de-loop type patterns, and then they settle into a triangular type shape, and they hover, and then minus the sound.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I
Well-
add some addendums or whatever?
Add some
Absolutely.
addendums, but don't give your full thoughts, if you would.
Oh, well,
Until-
I don't know what that means, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like Jay's opinion.
Oh.
because I know
Yeah,
yours.
yeah,
I know
yeah.
yours,
That-
and I
that
know
makes-
yours is coming.
You're right. You're right.
What do you make of it?
I'm curious about the psychological implications. It all began with a thought that you said you put out.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing things, as we all know, is not the end-all, be-all of, I'm just being, what's his name, Mulder? That Mulder fella?
Uh-huh.
Quite the opposite.
Oh, Fox
Mulder
Mulder?
on Fox.
Fox
Network.
News.
Fox
fair
is-
and, you're being fair and balanced. Like Fox
Yeah.
News.
Mulder.
Fox TV's The X-Files starring Fox Mulder
Oh, hey.
Wow.
and CBS Scully.
Scully, that's... Okay, so I get the joke, and I thank you for all the help. Scully. Yeah, I know. That's
You're very
that's-
much
I'm
the
taking that
Scully
position.
to his Mulder.
Yeah, well, it's just like, I don't know. I would lean on the psychological state being an explanation more than UFOs reading your mind and coming and giving you a light show.
Now, you will remember I pointed out that I was not zooted.
Despite all the substances that you listed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Not zooted. I get it. You don't need to be zooted.
So you're saying, no, I did not see this. I was high. And saw what I wished to see.
I think you'll see it when you believe it. You know, people say, "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it." Nah, you'll see it when you believe it.
But I did see it, and I do believe it.
What? Both?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'm curious about a possible psychological mind state that could be responsible for a lot of UFO reports.
Okay.
Some kind of undocumented
Yeah.
mental state.
I mean, just before I continue, the thing that you do have to like recognize is that everybody has a camera now. This is like, not a new observation, but there aren't any more UFO videos than there ever were. So unless they know how to cloak themselves from androids and eye things.
I mean, you just refuted your own refutation.
Anyway, I think that every person in their soul has two FBI agents. One of them is a Mulder, and one of them is a Scully.
Inside of you, there is two
Yeah,
FBI.
exactly. I have both of those, and they go back and forth.
Which one wins?
Well, it
The
depends.
one that you feed?
It
Depends on if it's sweeps week or not.
Yes. Every once in a while, Scully is right about something. In this case, I have to be the Scully because, as you noticed, I was also there in this story.
Yeah.
And I also previously said I've never seen a UFO. So,
Were you zooted?
I think we were all a bit zooted.
Okay.
And the way I remember this is that we were all talking about this and all commented on, "Oh, that looks weird" or whatever in the sky. So I think no, we were stoned or whatever, zooted, garbanzo beaned out the wazoo, and we saw some light for some reason, and we thought it was a space alien or something. But I also like the additional detail that not only did you see a UFO, you manifested the UFO by thinking at it. You
I made a polite request,
yeah,
which I believe was answered
the UFO
politely.
was like, "Hey, hi,
Hey, Zach.
hey Zach,
Thanks for asking. Bye.
bye."
Hey, little stoned hippie. Hello.
So, no, I don't think that you did, but what do I know?
All right. I think what you said was beautiful about that we are each of us our own internal Mulder and Scully. I agree with that entirely. I'm no sucker, but I saw what I saw.
Sure, I don't want to argue about it. Anyway, Jay, what's going on with you?
I think it's all bullshit. I think you're all zooted too much. I've never seen no type of UFOs. No how.
Never.
No, and furthermore, I was trying to think of any just like generally hard to explain
Yeah,
instances.
same. I don't think I've
experiences.
ever seen something that is like you see it and it's like that's not right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. The fact that you can't really explain it, even what I'm talking about, is part of what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw it for sure and there was absolutely no getting around, this is what I'm seeing, it would crack your brain.
Yes, that's what I like about it. I
You'd
guess
like-
I'm looking to get my brain cracked.
Even, we've spent a lifetime seeing UFOs on television and in movies,
And
in zoomed in.
it's always, well, I won't say always, but it's usually more fun during that part of the movie than when they meet the aliens and explain everything.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, that could be fun too, but all the spaceships hovering over the White House and stuff is scary and ominous, and you don't know what it is. Yeah. And then later they're giving them a computer virus, and they're like punching them and stuff, and saying "Welcome to Earth," and that's all fun too. But it's not the same thing.
They're just like assholes from outer space.
Yeah, exactly.
They reduce themselves to that.
Exactly.
This I'm not sure if I was interrupting anything, but
Didn't seem like it.
this is why I like this author Stanislaw Lem. He's a Polish science fiction author, and his book Solaris, and like most of his books, but especially his book Solaris, is about them going to this planet that's covered by what seems to be a living ocean, and there's just nothing in common with humans and whatever the fuck it is, but it meets the definition of life and intelligence, obviously to some degree, but there's just an impassable barrier between the two. And the book is just about that and like the effect on a human of that experience. You know?
Yeah.
There could be an alien sitting right next to us. It could be a second guest on
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like a fart cloud. But
Right.
it's still technically intelligent somehow. It's just not visible. It's just like a gas.
And this won't help us, but for our viewers, I'm going to attempt in the editing of this episode to turn on the fourth dimensional filter right now.
Yeah.
We haven't used that before?
Do we get to see it live? Or
This is not going to happen for us. This is for our viewers. I'm sorry. I wish that I could make it happen live, but
Great.
I think we turned on the fourth dimensional filter in our episode about soup, but I'm not positive.
Were you guys playing chess in there? In the fourth dimension? I hear that's what a lot of smart people do when they're trying to like get stuff done.
I've heard Donald Trump has done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are into fourth dimensional chess.
Fourth dimensional chess.
It's where they're like they also go upside down or something. I don't know.
It's where the chess pieces can go upside down.
Wow. That's a great discussion. Welcome to Leia Plays. This is a part of the podcast where I pitch a podcast idea that might be better than this podcast potentially. This week, the podcast idea is called Objectively. This is the title of the podcast. Objectively Correct Opinions About the Alien Movies Franchise. Cast.
Objectively correct theories about the Alien movie franchise cast.
Well, like
Harry Dean Stanton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was like Paul Reiser, I think, is in one of
He's
those.
around.
No. Let's just jump into it. Hey, welcome to Objectively Correct Opinions About the Alien Movie Franchise pod. Is that better?
Yes, it is, yeah.
I'm your host,
There
Jason.
were pods. in
That's true. I
those.
think there were pods.
That's a good point.
Hid in or something.
That is
Sleep in them
that's
and hide
objectively
in them.
correct. Wow.
Hey, if you can sleep in it, you can hide in it. That's what I always say.
These are my hosts. No need to name them. And I'll just go ahead and start out with the podcast. Aliens was the worst of the franchise.
That's the only one I've seen. I liked it. I saw it quite a while ago.
Just trust me. Well, you're on the wrong podcast if you
If
you don't think it's true.
It's the only one
so.
I've done. I gotta sit through 100 of these alien things now, and so before I can be on it.
You're gonna be waiting some time, I believe, because they're still making the Alien films.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to have an objective opinion because they're still making them.
That's true.
Let's go into this favorite segment, everybody's favorite segment of the podcast. People with brown hair are always right. Segment.
Ooh. I don't know. That's a slippery slope.
Hi,
It's the favorite part of the segment.
Well, I mean, I have brown hair.
I thought
Aliens is the worst movie of the franchise. Segment over.
Right.
I thought the best part of the Alien movies franchise was when the aliens.
I thought the best part was when it became a franchise, because I'm just into franchises, guys.
Franchise crazy.
Franchises are the bomb.
That's when it became the worst. The first movie is the only good one.
I thought you said it was the
No.
only one that wasn't.
You've
good
been
or
saying
something.
aliens
No,
this whole time.
Aliens, the second movie.
Is the only good
Alien,
one.
yeah. No. Aliens.
Okay.
Aliens,
I thought
the
the whole
James
thing
Cameron
was meant
movie,
to be
Aliens.
ironic.
No, it's the worst one. The original Alien movie is the best one.
Oh, okay.
The other ones are
Oh,
good
yes.
too.
Okay. So
Okay.
that is what you were saying
Aliens.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Alien was
No,
not good.
No, that's the
Okay.
best one by far.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
never
it should
bothered
be-
to watch any of the other ones.
There you go. I don't think it should have been made into a franchise at all.
As the third, as
But
James
then it
Cameron is
never
a
would have
fucking
met like Batman or Ash from Evil Dead or whatever. You know?
you didn't want Alien to meet
Predator.
Batman.
No. And I'm glad you guys are coming around to this objective opinion about the Alien movie franchise.
Here,
It
Here on this
turns out you're right.
What?
I was trying to fight it, but
All right.
as the one of the three hosts of objectively correct opinions about the Alien movie franchise cast pod,
Let me stop you right there. Are you going to say that I'm right?
I'm going to launch into my favorite segment
of this
of
the Alien movie franchise objective opinions about
podcast
comma,
cast pod.
cast pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, segment number 2.
Movies that haven't been franchised that should.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List goes to the multiverse.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
Imagine all the lists.
Schindler's
The
Excellent
list,
Adventure.
the list verse.
List verse.
Santa's in there, obviously.
Definitely.
He's like the Nick Fury, I would assume. If you want to get all Marvel with it.
Yeah, at the end of Schindler's List, if
Yeah.
you stay after the credits, he walks into his cool apartment. Santa's there.
It's cool. Schindler's apartment. Yeah.
He says, "If you love lists, I have a job for you." They team up. Who else has famous lists? The Forbes 30 for 30
Yeah.
is in there.
Uh-huh.
That was a great movie.
Yep.
This is a movie podcast.
Yeah, I know. That's the end of
Yeah, I don't-
movies they should have franchised. That's the end of that segment.
Well,
I
I'm
said
just pointing-
Schindler's List, and I immediately didn't want to go further down that on a recording.
Yeah. That's the end of that segment within the show observations about the alien that are objective. That
Well, we're just
Yeah.
kind of getting far afield here on objectively
Right.
correct opinions about the Aliens movie franchise pod.
I've seen the first two, and I thought the first one was better than the second one.
Okay.
Is it an opinion that I think Guy Pearce is in one of them?
Yeah.
And he is. So
Yeah.
is that an opinion? That's just a fact, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
guess
trivia.
I guess an objective opinion is oxymoronic,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No. Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. You know, this is a terrible podcast.
My opinion.
It's very rare that I admit that one of these ideas is bad.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's ever happened, in fact.
Oh,
At least not while it's happening.
well. I guess I'm honored to witness this.
It's kind of, okay. It's just like kind of your fault.
That's fine. I can handle that.
Look,
It is your fault that you have bested the host of Objectively Facts About Alien franchise cast.
I mean, I don't
Show?
think I did that, or if I did, I didn't. It
Certainly
wasn't
not.
intentional.
Never.
Yeah, it didn't
certainly
seem like
not.
it.
I don't know.
Well, I know it wasn't me.
Okay.
I didn't
you know
bring
what?
up
I
Guy
think it
Pearce
collapsed
once.
under the weight of its own
I think
premise.
it's it. Thank you for watching Objectively Correct Opinions about the movie franchise Aliens.
We'll be right back.
God.
They told me to do this.
No!
Oh,
Thanks for watching. That's the end of Play Plays. Think about it. But you don't have to think about it anymore.
They didn't ever cut to a sponsor on the Aliens.
I
Objective
know. I couldn't
Opinion
think of a funny
podcast.
joke for that.
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
that show doesn't have a sponsor.
yeah. Well, it sucks. It only lasted one episode.
Nobody
Really, and
wanted
they-
to be
It's
on
like
it.
they were trying to get
Yeah.
Blue Chew or whatever, but even they wouldn't.
Yeah, nobody that was hosting the show seemed to have any idea what it was.
What it was,
about or what even the main guy
It
just said the
seemed
movie wrong.
mostly just to say that Alien is a good movie and the rest of them aren't.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
So then where do you go with
Well, the
that?
execution, I blame the producers or the executives,
Yeah.
the big studio execs.
Right.
They kind of fucked it up.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
so
They
they're always
noted it to
fucking-
death.
They noted it to
Yeah.
death. They're always fucking shit up.
This one comes down to iHeartRadio for sure, and I don't heart iHeartRadio,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I'm willing to say it.
Think about it.
We'll be right back. take that again.
All right. Now, can I leave all that in
Yeah,
just now?
of
Okay.
course. All right, we're back to the podcast. Metaphiles. Podcast that talks to you.
Okay. We are back, and it's segment 2, and it's UFOs and the world.
Which is the best time for it to be the subject and the world.
What do you mean time?
Well, it's always like barbecue in the world. Doesn't make a lot of sense. They don't have barbecue in New York, you know, so like...
I'm genuinely not following what you're saying.
Well,
What do you mean?
UFOs and the world. Like, they come to the world.
Right.
They come to the world, but they always are around it.
I think they're in the atmosphere.
No, yeah, they come down.
Yeah.
They grab a cow.
Yeah.
But they grab a cow from Myanmar. They grab a cow from...
Myanmar. Nice.
Everywhere.
It's called Burma.
Is it?
No.
Oh. Oof.
It was.
You like how I didn't react to that because I didn't know?
Yeah. We don't have to know things on this show.
Yes, we do.
We learn things on this show, and this is the portion of the show that's educational. And there's a lot of ways to approach researching UFOs. You could just say, over in India they saw one. Over there they saw one once in 1931.
Right.
But it's
Old
all going to
Barney
be...
Simmons and his wife, or whatever
Yeah.
their names were.
Barney Simmons of New Delhi saw one in the year 800. But it's all going to be, and they said it looked like a thing, and it's lights. So we're not doing that.
I looked up from a chicken korma, and there was a UFO.
So we're just going to go through some history.
Sure.
We're just going to go.
Okay.
This will be educational. Shen Kuo, a scholar official of the Song Chinese government, wrote an essay in the year 1088 AD in which he recorded testimony from multiple people from multiple provinces of flying objects with multiple opening doors, or FOWMODs, which would shine a blinding light from its interior, from an object shaped like a pearl, and would cast shadows from trees for 10-mile radius and then take off at tremendous speeds.
Okay.
This is essentially the first recorded
Like
UFO
incident.
Yes.
Because like they're in, you can see them in like old paintings and religious like an iconography and everything.
And there are reports from as far way farther back, but these are all things that people can easily point to and be like, that was a meteor.
Right.
That was.
And this is like a government official collecting this information.
Yes.
It's so funny, like, really quick, just like heading off all the actualities for this topic of like, you know, like ancient aliens,
right?
And like you were saying, like, it's like this rock or this tablet carving is like, that's clearly, you know, a fucking UFO.
Yes.
It's like it's such a something nest of something, you know, like not a bear trap.
It's a bear trap of a hornet's nest.
Oh, okay.
It's a can of worms that's bait to make a bear trap make a hornet's nest explode all over us.
Mm-hmm.
That's apt. That's exactly.
And
a little convoluted.
Everybody in the comments is going to be saying, "What about the pyramids?
Exactly.
What about things like this?" We're avoiding all that, and you should too.
Mm-hmm.
This guy he worked for the government,
and we all know, you know. that's where you should go for information.
Yes.
Did you? Before you go on, did you make up your own acronym or whatever? Like, not acronym.
Yes,
UFO.
yes, I did.
Yeah, what was
it's
it?
a flying object with multiple opening doors, or an FOWMOD.
Okay, I was just making sure I heard that.
Yep.
All right.
Now, from here, and I didn't do this on purpose, we're staying pretty much in America from there on out.
That's fine. That's that's where I am.
Yeah.
It's also an interesting aspect.
It is. I guess it is like at least in like pop culture or whatever. It's kind of an American thing.
Yeah. We'll see the world a
as far as I
little
know,
bit more,
yeah.
but
No, it's definitely Anyways.
I'm going to skip this next one because I don't think we really need it. From November 1896 to April 1897, spurned by a report possibly that happened in 1878, which we're skipping.
Wait, spurned? What?
Oh, not spurned. Spurred.
Spurred. Okay.
Thank you. It would have been all over me.
I know. That's the end of the podcast.
Numerous reports across the U.S. of mystery airships reminiscent of what we would call modern UFO waves, which is a thing that we won't necessarily get to, but UFO sightings tend to happen in waves.
Oh, okay.
This is
That's
consistent throughout time. They're visiting a lot.
Is that
and
like...
they go away.
Do they happen in waves like that are collected, like the information is collected all at once, or is it sort of like, oh, I saw one too.
Me too.
You know, yeah, I also saw that.
Well, it's that. Or it's that, like, they're around then.
Right. Okay.
You know, Mulder and Scully once again. Scores of people report even talking to pilots of these strange crafts. And at this time, some feared that Thomas Fuckboy Edison had created an artificial star that could fly around the country.
What?
We were all so scared of supervillain Thomas Edison at this time.
Wow.
Yeah, right. He made that movie. Everybody thought they were going to get hit by that train, and they thought he could do anything.
Yeah. He can hit you with a train. He can electrify
He can,
elephants
kill
to
an
death
elephant.
just by thinking about it. And now he made a little sun.
Presumably,
that he's
he would make
flying
a
around.
small artificial star that he would fly around.
Absolutely, and fly it around to your town and
Just to kind of look at you.
to look at you, kill any
Thomas Jefferson.
elephants that you might have. A purported letter was found and published in April of 1897. in
What do you
which
mean a purported
it
letter?
was
It is either a letter or it isn't.
The letter was purported to be an enciphered communication between Edison and one of the pilots. And this led Edison to make a comment publicly in which supervillain Thomas Edison said, "You can take it from me, that's a pure fake." And news coverage ceased.
Oh, so that was the first fake news. First incident of somebody saying fake news.
Yeah.
Thomas Edison fucking invented that too. This guy, he can't stop.
He keeps going. We're gonna find out he came up with Twitter at some point.
X.
Yeah. Oh. It was originally called E. Yeah. So all it took was him saying like, "Nope."
Yeah, and people were like, "Well, I guess not."
Okay. Then World War II. Now it's World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Foo Fighters.
Precisely.
Oh yeah.
Allied and Axis pilots in the Pacific and European theaters report glowing fireballs, which get named Foo Fighters. The band, Dave Grohl.
The best.
We make the jokes. We make the jokes about that. Are we done with those? Are we done with those jokes?
It's not a laughing matter.
No.
It's a war, goddammit.
Then the word "foo" was nonsense. It came from some cartoonist was using it at the time.
Okay.
Anyway, here's where some
So,
explanations.
oh no! Look, it's all the Garfield orbs. Look out!
Worldwide Monday News.
They only appear on Mondays.
Here were some explanations that were given for these glowing fireballs that many pilots saw, who were getting so high up in the sky, higher than most people had been at that point.
Right.
That's true.
Here's what they said it might have been. St. Elmo's fire, which is a type of weather phenomenon that, like, basically lightning can go around the mast of, like, a ship or something. It looks like lightning. It doesn't look like a glowing fireball at all.
Yeah.
Another thing they said, like, you didn't see aliens. What you saw was the planet Venus. That does not move.
No.
Jeez.
Then they said, you probably are hallucinating from oxygen deprivation.
I just want to correct you. Venus does move quite a lot, actually. It's like
Yeah.
big and heavy, and it's moving all over the place.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
not like
That's
it
also
doesn't
what-
go like that.
No. Well, sort of.
Well,
but depending on where you are, what you're looking at.
It goes like that.
It's all a matter of perspective, Zach, just like I always say.
They said you're hallucinating from oxygen deprivation, you pilots.
Seems,
They're
likely.
wearing those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not always going to work too great.
Okay. I don't buy that one.
They're also under incredible amounts of stress.
Yeah. And then a lot of them are
in
just
concert.
dirty liars. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
that's
they
true,
also their last explanation was that it was probably German secret weapons. But
Right.
like, who won that one?
Yeah, exactly.
too. Yeah.
Anyway, around this time, there were over 2,000 reports worldwide, mostly from the Swedish military, of these glowing orbs. And everybody tried to explain it away. It's German rockets. It's Russian rockets. It's any kind of rocket. German and Russian. Everybody, look at them. But this didn't stop everybody from thinking that maybe that's not that. And in 1947, on June 24th, at Mount Rainier, Washington, Kenneth Arnold, you know this one?
I remember the name Mount Rainier stuck out to me.
Kenneth Arnold reports seeing a string of 9 shiny UFOs, or SUFOs, who move like saucers, skipping across water.
Sort of unidentified
Yeah.
object?
Shiny ones.
We said S UFOs.
What's this guy skipping saucers on
He
water?
said they move like saucers, skipping across water.
Yeah, what does he know what that looks like? Is he out there like throwing plates in the lake?
But it also meant the UFOs were like this.
Right? Yeah, like.
They moved at an estimated speed of 1,200 miles per hour,
Now that guy
says
definitely
Kenneth
doesn't know
Arnold.
what that
Come on,
is.
look,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
How would you that like horses going 36 times as fast as they normally go? Jesus.
This garnered national coverage and is considered the first modern UFO sighting, and also makes the term flying saucer popularized.
Skipping saucers sounds like what it should have been.
We should
Yeah.
be calling them skipping saucers, and we
We
will
were,
from
we
now.
were off to a bad start, right away with this shit.
Weeks later, Gallup publishes a poll, and I'll stop down for a moment.
This is weeks after.
After Kenneth.
Mount Rainier. Okay.
Yes, Gallup. Who is Gallup?
I don't
They
understand
make
it
polls. That's all. I
They
know
make
about
polls,
them.
and they've been making polls from since then.
Yeah. Is this the first one? Because it could be aliens.
Maybe.
It might be. They might have infiltrated our media right around then.
I mean, when I read that, it did make me wonder, like, who is Gallup, and why do we trust them?
Yeah. I don't know.
What's
Well,
Gallup's agenda?
I've never thought about it.
Clearly, the answer is what does the poll say?
Yeah.
What's the answer to the poll?
Well, they published a poll in which they asked people, "What do you think they are? These flying saucers?" And 90% of people had heard the term already within weeks.
Oh.
And they all responded that they had no idea.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah, that's aliens then. Well,
Yeah.
Gallup aliens. They're just
The word aliens was never mentioned in this article, neither to the people polled or in its results.
That's a great answer to that poll. What do you think this thing that nobody knows what it is? I don't know.
I don't know. The war's over, so that's nice. I guess we'll just do nothing for 20 years. Then we have the Roswell incident within weeks of that. And I didn't really write down everything that I read about the Roswell incident, but
It's the most famous.
it's the most famous thing.
UFO-related
And
thing.
so it was like, we don't need to really write it down. But
Yeah.
what was interesting to me at the time was like, it was this big moment for like a day or two, but then basically they like actually showed photos of what they found, and it was just like pieces
It's
of
just a
tin foil
toaster.
and shit. Not even that. It was like some tin foil on a stick.
Right. Oh, we found this tinfoil on a stick. That's all it was, guys.
Yeah. And then at the time, everybody was like, okay, tinfoil on a stick. All right, great.
Yeah.
Let's make up new sandwiches for 20 years.
But let's hang on to this and invent the internet later and come up with all kinds of wild things.
It only really became such a thing later with
in like movies and right.
for decades nobody even thought or cared about Roswell. Then it was like when we started post like JFK assassination and stuff like that, it was like, what about Roswell and what about
right,
and let's get the X-Files on TV later.
So it wasn't even in like
it was not
50s aliens movies or anything.
No, it was
wasn't
not
until like,
zeitgeisty.
government conspiracy stuff started to be
Right.
No.
And then they
No.
pinned it back
Zeitgeist.
to this thing that at the
False.
time was basically considered open and shut.
First of all, did they reverse engineer tinfoil from Roswell? Is that what you're saying?
We had tinfoil in the war.
I don't know.
Second of all, War of the Worlds, 1953, H.G. Wells, it's a 1953 movie that came out with UFOs.
But did that have Roswell in it?
No.
Oh no! People didn't like completely stop caring about aliens.
Yeah.
The
Just
Roswell
Roswell
incident,
Area 51.
right?
Okay.
All that was not it wasn't from then to now. We've always thought Roswell
Right.
was a big cover-up. It was later kind of like...
When cover-ups were all the rage.
Yeah, and it was
They
sort
were
of
very
like...
in vogue.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the
Anti-aesthetically.
sexiest one.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
in between all that, UFO enthusiasts become a thing in the 50s, and they start to organize local saucer clubs. And
What were they talking about?
same stuff we're talking about right now. Shen Kuo, I'm sure, came up. These clubs grew to national and international prominence within a decade. By the 50s, 3 influential books were published. Donald Kehoe's The Flying Saucers Are Real, Frank Scully's Behind the Flying Saucers, and Gerald Hurd's The Riddle of the Flying Saucers. We all had flying saucer fever in the 50s. We had microwaves and UFOs.
Yeah. And that was back when they went like...
Absolutely, they did.
I can't do it, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
And the war was over, and everything was great. Mm-hmm. And each of those 3 books, it says on the internet, guilelessly proposed that the extraterrestrial UFO hypothesis was the correct explanation, and visits were in response to detonations of atomic weapons.
Yeah, that's a common theory.
So it is in the 50s when the UFO truly takes shape as a mythos. Mm-hmm. And the books also introduced Americans to the idea of the crusading whistleblower who is dedicated to breaking the silence. Yes. Yeah. And media accounts and speculation ran rampant, especially in connection to a 1952 UFO scare in D.C., which I don't know anything about. And neither do you. Them, I meant.
Oh.
No, you
I only
can.
vaguely know about it.
A lot
Basically,
of
I could say that there was a Washington, D.C. something or other with UFOs.
a lot of these things are ringing X-Files bells for you.
No, I mean, I've watched whatever kind of stupid UFO, we'll call them documentaries or whatever, So that's why I've heard Mount Rainier probably, even though I don't know anything about it.
We'll call them documentaries and we'll call them stupid.
Yeah. That's a whole genre of documentaries, the stupid ones.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
true.
honestly. Start a stupid documentary series.
Oh, shit, I put a nickel in him. He's ready to go.
Yeah. We
It finally came up.
we might have a whole network here.
Oh.
Docs for dum-dums.
I like dumb docs.
Dumb docs.
Oh.
Dumb docs. There it is. Jay, you want in on dumb docs?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll discuss it more. By 1953, intelligence officials, the Robertson panel, were worried that genuine incursions by enemy aircrafts over U.S. territory might be lost in a maelstrom of kooky hallucinations. Mm-hmm. A Trendex survey, never heard of Trendex, Gallup fucking
They missed the mark there.
ate them up. 1957, 10 years after the Arnold incident, when we first caught the fever, reported that over 25% of the U.S. public believed that unidentified flying objects could be from outer space. 25%.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like a huge number to me.
No, that's pretty low.
Yeah. That's what we have.
Well, where do the other people think they are from? Just not space?
From
Earth?
the commie Reds.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
I'm assuming.
Something like that, sure.
We'll do a dumb doc
or
about
like
it.
special, secret U.S. military bullshit.
Yeah. The cultural phenomenon showed up within some intellectual works, such as the 1959 publication of Flying Saucers, A Modern Myth of Things Seen in the Sky by Carl Jung.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to read that at some point.
I wondered. I'm curious of his thoughts.
I think from the little blurb I read about it, I think it is more like the psychological
I was just about to say, that sounds, really cool.
aspect of it.
Okay, great. So he's taking all the fun out of it.
Yeah, basically.
Thanks, Carl.
It starts with, they're not real and you're dumb. And then the rest of it explains why.
Yeah. However, all these things are going on. But back in 1948, Air Force General Nathan Farragut Twining, head of the Air Technical Service Command, initially names Project Saucer, eventually renamed Project
Blue Book?
Sign.
Oh.
Project Blue Book is born out of it at a certain point. That was one that when I read it, I was like, I know Blue Book. I've heard wackos mention that.
Blue beam, by the way.
Blue Bean?
Blue beam.
What's
I
Blue
believe
Bean?
is the correct word for it.
Huh?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Blue book is different from blue beam?
I
There's
don't know
one
what
called
Blue
blue
Beam
beam
is.
that I've heard.
Project Blue Book was definitely a thing.
Okay.
And what is Blue Beam?
That blue beam is like the government's going to try to make us think that there's an alien invasion, but it's going to be their own production, and they're going to use it
Right.
to gain power
Okay.
over the
I've
people.
never heard of that one. That's cool.
I'm shocked that there's blue book and blue beam.
They were into the
They-
color blue.
Color blue, yeah, you know.
What does that mean?
The sky is also blue.
Oh! We're figuring it out here on Dumb Docs. The goal of the Project Sign, was to collect, evaluate, and distribute within the government all information relating to UFO sightings on the premise that they might represent a national security concern. On April 27, 1949, the U.S. Air Force publicly released a paper prepared by the Intelligence Division of the Air Materiel Command at Wright-Patterson Field, Ohio. The paper stated that while some UFOs appeared to represent actual aircraft, there was not enough data to determine their origin. Almost all cases were explained by ordinary causes, but the report recommended a continuation of the investigations of all sightings. So they don't know everything.
Right. And Project Sign is what it's called?
Yes?
Well, that later, M. Night Shyamalan made a sequel to that called Signs.
Yes, which objectively was not as good as the original.
Yes.
Or was. Or it was the worst one. Or...
You trying to do a franchise joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going back to Leia Playas.
Keep reading.
Project Sign was first asserted in the 1956 book, The Report on UFOs, by retired Air Force Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, who later directed Project Blue Book, which we mentioned, sort of. Let me see if I really want to get to the rest of this.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. They shut the project down for lack of proof. There is something else.
If that's
Hang
grounds
on.
to shut down shit these days,
Right.
there would be nothing left.
It's like, oh, we've been doing this for 10 years and we got bupkis, so let's shut it down, guys.
Yeah. When are they ever just going to, okay, fine. Like, it never happened.
I was just counting the evidence that we have, and it turns out it's 0. Maybe we should stop.
Project Sign gets shut down. They open Project Grudge, which is
What
meant
the fuck?
to
We're getting revenge on
Project Grudge.
They were tricking us.
uh,
They wasted our time for 10 years.
this one was meant to prevent exploitation by foreign powers to induce panic in the population. Like they didn't want the Reds to make us think it was UFOs when really it was them.
Right.
And so Project Grudge publicly disparages all UFO reports and calls them misidentifications.
So that's just like, this shit is bullshit.
It's all
Enough
bullshit.
said. End of story.
Russia did it. Russia did all of it. Everything you thought was misidentifications of various conventional objects, mild forms of mass hysteria, war nerves, fakers and hoaxers, or psychopathological persons.
Okay.
It's like McCarthyism for
Give all
UFOs.
those people a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to rush through this last paragraph.
Okay.
In the 1950s, despite all this bullshit, public pressure mounted for full declassification of all UFO records, but the CIA played a role in refusing to allow.
Wait, when was this?
In the 1950s.
Okay, so pre-Kennedy.
Pre-Kennedy. Oh, yes. Well, but it's like before we cared about Roswell again, but everybody still had UFO
okay.
fever.
Gotcha.
They do all this shit in the CIA, but they don't release anything. Everybody says, we got to release it all, but the CIA says, no, we will not.
Meanwhile, they didn't have anything.
Yeah. They say, we have nothing of value to study from UFOs in the past 21 years that has added to scientific knowledge, so they stop studying it in the government.
Tinfoil.
From the 1960s on, American popular culture continues to be obsessed with all these things, blah, blah, blah. In
Where's that Reddit?
1966.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
In 1966, and this is what we'll stop at. People are still so like, tell us about UFOs, tell us about UFOs.
Uh-huh.
And it's 1966 now, they're about to JFK it all, and they release a TV thing that says UFO.
They're about to get their JFK on.
Yep.
Project JFK.
They released a TV special called UFO, Friend, Foe, or Fantasy, in which Walter Cronkite, quote-unquote, patiently explained to viewers that UFOs are fantasy.
Uh-huh.
He enlisted the help of scientists J. Allen Hynek and Carl Sagan, and they told Cronkite, to this time, there is no valid scientific proof that we have been visited by spaceships.
Right.
So, as we leave here in 1966, we don't know. There's no proof. Everybody wants to know, and they don't know.
Yeah. Which is what I like about them.
Yes. And we reached 1966. None of that was funny research, because it's just too fucking interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's also just like,
True.
the government did this and they didn't find anything, and then they did this and they didn't find anything, and then people wanted to know what they found, and then they said, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't
And
know.
also, we didn't find anything.
Yeah, but you can't know that.
Yes. All that being
They're
said,
UFOs, and we don't know what they are. Like,
all those redundancies, and even redundancies in our own 20-minute segment aside, I believe that it is necessary that at some point in the future we must have UFOs episode 2, and we must have you back for it.
Okay.
So that we can get from 1966 to now.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole bunch more.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
wow. Hell yeah.
So stay tuned. Watch every episode until then.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on the 202nd
You never know.
episode.
Maybe you'll be back next week, or maybe somewhere in between, and just watch every week until that happens.
Right. But
We
now
cannot confirm nor deny.
It's classified.
Yes.
Redacted. So now you want me to say we'll be right back again, right?
Now is the time
Okay.
for you to
We'll be right back again. Welcome back to my guest appearance on this podcast. That's kind of run out of steam. I'll just say, welcome back to the podcast.
You commenting on it has not run out of steam, and hopefully never will, because that's what we do.
Right, sure.
So,
You know what was cool about the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
all the body snatching was
I like the invasion part.
that was good too.
I just forget it.
I've never seen any of those movies.
No,
Ah!
I haven't either.
Ah!
I know that at one point there's a human head on a dog. Is that true?
That's Mars Attacks.
Spoilers.
I think it's both.
No, it is both.
Oh, is it?
I think Mars Attacks.
Was it
Which
like
I've-
making fun of that or
I
something?
guess so, because I've only seen that like one time. I fucking hated it.
Oh, really?
Mars Attacks.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I remember it being funny.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's aliens, but there's no UFOs.
Oh,
They
right.
just show up on Earth, and that's it.
And you don't ever
No.
see one as an alien, right?
They don't
They're
have
just other
ships.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Anyways, but they're still aliens,
So they're
but
just
this is-
going like, I'm John and I have a garage.
And I'd be
you're
like, I don't think that's
that
John.
guy-
Well, he doesn't have a garage.
John does not have a garage.
He doesn't even have a car.
I think that guy is a fucking alien.
Plus, his name's Rick.
He doesn't even have a license.
And he's never said hi to me.
Also, he's my son.
I don't think it's him. You're just going crazy.
No, we gotta kill our son. He's an alien.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
99.9%, which is
Yeah.
enough for me.
He's gotta go. And then
Guys.
let's go to a lake.
And skip some plates. Skip some saucers.
Yeah.
Like I like to do.
Honey, get the skipping saucers out.
Yeah.
We're gonna kill our boy. And be free again.
That boy, John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
And that's what they don't want you to know.
Houston, Texas.
What they don't want you to know about John F. Kennedy is he died as a child, and they made
Yeah.
a whole other guy be
Yeah.
president.
And they thought that Lee Harvey Oswald was in a book depository, but in fact it was a plate store.
Yeah. And that's where if you watch the footage carefully, you can see.
Why UFOs?
Why UFOs? This is segment 3 where we discuss why. Why at all? Why are we so fascinated with it?
Well, like as a culture?
Yeah, as a human race, why the UFO? Why are they here? Or why do we want them to be here and they're not here?
I don't know. I mean...
Your explanation of like... you like a thing that is maybe possible and maybe not, and stays there. But it can't be that forever.
No, that's like... I'm not like complimenting myself, but that's too esoteric for a reason for a whole like culture or whatever. But,
I agree. Your average Joe shithead.
I think it's just that it's a number of things. I think one thing is that people seeing something that they can't understand is like probably a biological like trigger of some kind.
That's as old
Things
as time.
flying
Ghosts
are a thing that we can't do or couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know?
And you mentioned the word a couple different times, culture, and like different cultures don't have UFOs per se, even quite today, right? I don't think UFO is ubiquitous.
I don't know.
It'd be
If
different
so,
letters.
it's probably only because American media goes everywhere.
There's still a cultural, there's older explanations, right?
Yeah.
So point being, is just like bigger than that, yeah.
There's also like sky gods and omens, and I mean, the things that I skipped before I got to Shen Kuo of China, meteor showers and eclipses and things.
But also, like when you were first talking about in China or wherever that was, that they had like doors that open and closed and stuff. That's like that could be like Zeus coming down in his fucking pod or whatever he has. His saucer.
Prius.
Zeus's pod, Zeus's Prius.
Angels, whatever.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's Zeus's Prius.
But are the angels and stuff in there because of the UFOs or vice versa?
We.
Is that French?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't speak French.
Zeus's Prius is a great distillation of it. And even now, even like a modern smart person.
Hi.
Yeah, they didn't invent being smart until fairly recently.
Yeah.
It's a Wikipedia.
There is some, even for the esoteric fan of it, idea of like the UFO will land and they'll walk out and they'll be like, guys, we're gonna fix everything.
That's part of it. It's like that's the people that like think that they're here because of the nuclear bomb or whatever, or they're like keeping an eye on us. There is sort of this is all real fucked up and I hope somebody comes in and saves us.
Just
Yeah.
ramp comes down. Don't worry about it.
We got it.
We got it.
We've been watching. We know.
Keep watching Cake Wars. We'll do the whole environment and everything. It's all good.
You guys keep watching the TV.
That's funny. We know.
It's good. We got it.
Just sit down. I heard James Corden's doing a whole show that's just carpool karaoke, so we'll fix fucking climate change for you. Then we'll head on back to Glorp Glop. And
you guys can have it back. We're not taking over.
No. We don't want this.
It's either that or the government. Who's gonna save us? The aliens.
Yeah. Could all UFOs be the government and they really like didn't brag about it this whole time though? Wouldn't they be like, we made the fucking coolest thing. It flies so fast.
No, probably not. I mean, there's like something called 0 point energy that I have heard of. I sort of vaguely know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think it's theoretical, or maybe the government has it and they're making these UFOs, but it's where it's like no acceleration. They just go, it's just like moving to different points in space.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm being recorded and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well,
really, but
that's what this show is.
cool.
I have the benefit of looking at
having a
Wikipedia
notebook
for an
that you
hour
wrote
before
down.
I start, but
I would not be doing this. Every single episode that we've done in this podcast, it would say so much dumb stuff.
yeah.
I guess you just have to get used to that if you're doing a podcast.
Yes. Oh, a big part of podcasting is
Being dumb.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being like being dumb on purpose.
Right.
So that you can... That's your starting point.
Yeah. Anyway, my self-consciousness got derailed us there. I think we were talking
No,
about
part of
stuff.
Metaphiles is we talk about Metaphiles.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, I'm just going to clear this up for people, sometimes I do know. And I pretend I don't.
Right.
Well, see, this is the thing. People rely on this podcast for reliable information.
I've heard
Informed
people are
lives,
getting their news from this podcast more and more.
Yeah, we have to be a dependable source.
Yeah.
A long time ago, we were a full-on news podcast,
True.
but that's like ancient history. Anyway, we are the original Dumb Docs.
Right.
And that's just how it is. UFO lands on your front lawn.
Mine.
Yep.
Okay.
Alien comes out. Alien's like, hey, Jay,
Uh-huh.
I know all about you.
Okay.
Come take a ride. Nothing bad will happen.
Here's a piece of candy.
Yeah. Space candy. Gonna make you feel great. Never mind. There's no way to ask that question now.
I don't know if I do it.
Yeah.
You're asking if
no,
you-
neither
if you
would I.
know.
Yeah, but neither would I, given what we all
Right.
just did. No, of course not. So, somebody else talk.
I mean, without all the jokes, though, if an alien was, like, talking to you, like, you know, personably like that, where it's like, hey, I'm an alien, I know it's weird.
How's it
You want to
going?
see what kind of shit we got? I'll bring you back in a half hour if you want.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'd probably chance it.
And you'd chance it.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This is
I
what
mean,
I...
what else are you going to do? You're going to say no, and then you go in and watch fucking BoJack Horseman
And
or
then,
whatever?
and then they just blow you up anyway.
Right,
I mean, if that's what they're there for.
I guess. I
Is
was
to blow you
assuming
up.
they weren't, but
They weren't. No, you'd hope. But if they were there to blow you up and you say no, then they just...
why would they invite you to take a ride before they blew you up?
Because they got a thing on the ship where they can, like, suck all the blowed up you right up into a tube and get rid of it.
They
real
make you
fast.
come before they kill you, like in the ship.
Oh, well, then I would definitely go. What are we talking about?
Oh, yeah, they're going to blow you up.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Tuesday
Oh, yeah.
night. Yeah. They're gonna blow.
Talk about nuclear bombs. I don't know what that means.
Rodney Dangerfield knew what it meant when he said it just now.
Oh, they never abduct me.
Even in outer space, I get no respect.
Yeah.
No interstellar respect.
Don't question it, Jay. All right, well, here's what I was going to not ask. But,
Here's what I was going to not ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is a question I've asked people throughout the years. I maybe have asked either of you this question before. Aliens come to Earth. Worldwide, it is known that aliens make the announcement, we are here. We're just going to hang out for a couple months, get to know you. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. They do. They hang out for a couple months. Everything is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you should not have worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you, separately, you get to know one. His name's Zark.
Both of them are named Zark, or are we
You're-
separately getting to know the same
Nice
Zark?
fella.
You're
No,
in
it's
you're
a
in
nice
separate scenario. You're in the same scenario separately.
They all have the
With
same name.
Zark, or are these two different Zarks?
Do you want yours to be a different name?
Well, I'm just trying
They're
to...
different guys.
Okay.
This is part of
So
how
it's
we're...
Zark and Bark.
Zark and
Whatever.
Bark, and you hang out with Zark, and
Okay.
you hang out with Bark.
Ugh, okay.
They're both.
I know, I got Zark. I got
Yeah.
the better end of that deal. For
Bark.
sure.
Bark is slightly
Zark
less
is
fun.
cooler, yeah. We all know that.
Bark is slightly less fun, but he still is a good time.
Yeah.
You hang out with him for like a month, and you guys are pals. You're pals with Bark, Jay. All
Bark
right?
buddies.
Now,
Crane.
backtracking slightly, you say that you have not. You don't know. You and Bark, you're great. You're starting a whole podcast with Bark, even though you know you only got a month.
Go on.
Rewind before the
Ah.
aliens even get there.
Oh, I can't even remember.
You,
the time.
each of you, separately, are in a very loving, committed relationship that's going great.
Okay.
You with a woman named Maud,
All right.
and you, Jay, with a woman named Claude.
All right.
Time for Zark and Bark to leave.
Oh, do we leave our fictional wives for our fictional alien friends? Is that what you're...
Nope.
Okay.
No, you are. Zark and Bark have their own shit going on.
Right.
Nobody's going.
They're not into that.
Nobody's going with
Right.
Zark and Bark. They
It was
got
sort of unspoken, but they're leaving.
Yeah. Maybe they'll be back someday. Maybe not. Zark comes to you about Maud. Bark comes to you about Claude, and each of them says,
So we're just gonna be like alien
swingers?
cucks?
Like-
Yeah, alien
oh, cucks, yeah,
thing?
we're-
Is that it?
"Now you have gotten there.
There's
You're
like
not
a-
getting cucked.
Earth cucks.
You're not
There's
cucked.
a
You're not
cuck
Earth.
chair in the UFO.
You are not being cucked by Born. Zark and Bark independently say, "Hey, I'm taking off tomorrow. Never gonna be back. I think Maud's real cool," and Bark says, "I think Claude's real cool."
Okay.
If Maud and Claude are into it, one night
Right.
you go do whatever you want. I'll give you 1,000 credits. Go
Okay.
go out on the
That's
town.
what I was going to ask. What do I
No,
get
no,
out of it?
you're nothing out. You're over there.
Right.
But me and Maud and me and Bark says me and Claude,
Uh-huh.
we spend a night together, assuming that they are interested.
Yeah.
Then I'm shipping out tomorrow. Got to get back to the Space Wars. Don't worry about those.
Okay.
Are you comfortable enough
Huh.
to allow Maud to get with Zarn
Yeah.
and Claude to
I
get
definitely
with?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
Bark.
my only concern was like, I don't want to have to be taking care of some little fucking alien baby. You know, that is not what I want. You
Yeah.
know? No
We should
thanks.
do it. I don't have a Gleek glorp.
Yeah.
It's condom? No, Gleek glorp.
There's no M. Shyamalan here. There's no twist.
No
endings.
twist. Okay.
So, I mean, my main thought would be it's going to be so different to where it's like I'm going to be what I am.
Yeah, it just
And
won't
so-
be
Yeah.
even. I mean, the
It
only
won't be
thing
like a
is that
better
it's just
version of me
like,
or something.
yeah, it could just be like the most otherworldly experience where like just nothing even in life kind of matters anymore.
It ruins
But,
Maud's
yeah.
whole life.
I think it would be,
From
if
that
that's the
point.
case, I think it would be
But again-
a bigger issue than just not
Well, that's
enjoying.
Mondays.
Yeah,
Garfield UFOs.
exactly. Yeah.
But again, that's Maud's
Right.
cross to bear.
Yeah,
no,
for sure. Yeah, as long as I get the 1,000 credits or whatever. Like,
get
I want
the
to go.
1,000
I get to go have some fun too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You get 0 point energied over to
To
where do you want to go?
Atlantic City or whatever. I don't know where I'm going with these credits.
I was thinking Vegas, but I was like, you don't want to go to Vegas.
No.
You can't think of a place you'd
But
less rather
where would
go
I go
than-
that takes these alien credits anyway?
they translate.
Oh, okay. So it's euros or whatever.
They turn them into crypto.
Crypto.
But also places take crypto now.
Okay.
The
Right.
aliens land and are like, we have crypto accounts.
They're crypto
We'll pay
people.
for everything.
Yeah. They're all into ETH. They came to Earth because they thought it was ETH.
I don't know what that is.
Don't worry about it.
Cucklings.
Yeah, cucklings. Yeah. We're just a couple of cucklings
Yeah.
in this scenario.
Cosmic cup.
Take us to your leader. Take us to your head cuck.
Take us to your leader, and then you sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Take us to your hot wife.
So.
All right. Well, there was no wrong answer to the question, so great
Oh,
job.
really? Good. So
This kind
what's
of question.
what do we do?
Oh yeah. Okay. This is where we get to the work,
Business.
Travis. So the work is we're going to decide what is the villain of the UFO.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fate of the UFO? As in, do we determine that we like it or not like it? And there's all kinds of gradations within that we can help translate for you.
Okay.
Full disclosure, he doesn't watch the show. We are going to determine the lesson of this episode, and then each episode of Metafiles does have a twist.
Oh. Okay,
It will
great.
not be related
Good.
to that scenario, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's fun. That's
So
exciting.
yeah.
It's also like I instantly got one. Like you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe probably
You got a
probably
great
one of
twist?
You probably have it.
let's save the twist because usually
yeah,
the
of
twist
course,
is the
of
best,
course.
and this happens entirely too often. Is that all of them, Jay? I always think there's one more, but there's not, right? The lesson, the villain, the lesson, the fate, the twist. I always think
Yeah.
that there's another one, but there's
Yeah,
not.
that's it.
Okay, that happens almost every week.
Okay.
Truly. Okay, so What
you
is
think
the,
about writing them down, or I mean, you write all that down. So.
Moving on.
I am exhausted.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
What is the villain of the UFO? Bazooka?
Well, we didn't cover them, but I think the Men in Black are right.
Well,
The government that's trying to shut this shit down.
but I mean, if we're going by Men in Black canon,
No, I'm not. Not the movie, not the franchise, of which the first one is also the only good one, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
But they're not trying to stop the UFO or defeat the UFO. They are trying to keep the public.
I'm not talking about those movies; those are fiction.
No, but let's go with
It
the
could
real.
be fiction. It could be really anything.
Let's go with the
actually.
real life Men in Blacks.
They're going around like they're shady government creeps.
But they are trying to keep the public unaware of the UFO so that the UFO can go about its own business unobtruded, and so that the two worlds can remain.
We don't know that.
Separate.
All we know is they're getting in our business. And lying to us.
They're lying to
and
us.
they're like weird
fucking
creeps, shadowy government creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not out here defending the Men in Black.
We're trying to party with these UFOs, and the old crusty dean
Yeah.
comes banging around saying, "What are you doing in there?"
MIBU.
Yeah.
But so you're saying that the Men in Black are making the UFO's life worse?
Well, we don't know about that, but they're making our lives worse
just
in
assholes.
accordance with our coexistence with the UFO phenomenon.
But we are looking for what is the UFO's villain.
Oh, the villain. Well, I would say that
If
it's probably still governments with weapons.
The weapons is good, but I think the government is trying to make sure that the UFO does not get fucked with. It is making sure that we don't fuck with them and they don't fuck with us.
Based on everything I know about
They're a
governments,
neutral
that
party.
doesn't seem likely.
I think the villain of the UFO is Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
He's the
because he
only,
gave him a cold?
he gave him a cold, and he's the only man sexy enough to really stop all of them.
Right.
Will Smith stopped one. Jeff Goldblum stopped them all.
That's true.
And he didn't even have to punch or
And he
slap.
sort of seems like he might be one.
He might be not an alien, but a UFO.
Yeah.
Like, he could just kind of, I gotta go, and
Yeah.
then just... So I say Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. We don't have to have a consensus on this.
No.
Okay.
Oh, phones. Phone cameras. How about that? It's a villain UFO.
I think they already got
Interesting.
around it.
Yeah.
They already got around it?
Yeah.
How, what?
That's why there's not more
But
footage
they may be
now.
hiding. They may just be coming around less. You know?
Jeez, if that's true,
And the ones that we are seeing are like the celebrities that want the paparazzi to
shitty
see
ones,
them, you know?
the fucking influencer
Yeah.
UFOs, that sucks, man. That's really depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all just cocks anyways. So
If like
fuck it,
we're
you
just
know?
getting the PewDiePie UFOs now,
Yeah.
if that's a person still,
I don't know.
I don't either.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
next, what do we got?
Next, we need to know the fate of the UFO, which is just,
Yeah.
do we like them or not? I love them.
I do, yeah.
So we would say that they go to Pinewood, which is our
Yeah.
version of heaven,
Okay.
and and they get to just fly around up there and do whatever they want.
I'd want the hereafter to still contain mysteries, personally. Once I get there, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Agreed.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Hey.
If in heaven you know it all, then what?
What's left to learn?
Yeah. And learning is the
Learning
best.
is my heaven.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the crusty old dean is my St. Peter. So now we every episode of the Metaphiles, of course, we learn a lesson.
Oh. Well, I just said that.
Or
It's
no.
my heaven, so let's do it.
Rather we have taught
we impart a lesson.
We have taught the fans a lesson that we learned within the episode. So.
Which was what? Oh, that's what we're figuring out.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we already discovered it in the episode, but we maybe didn't know that we discovered it the whole time. That it was the friends we made along the way.
Right. Okay.
It
And
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to have been explicitly.
I would
stated.
say at least it's like often the best movie in a franchise is the first one.
I am
Not always, but
I'm great with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they run out of juice after that. It's like
Yeah.
a good idea, and then there's no reason to make more of it.
Absolutely. I mean, frankly,
It's very true.
the idea that you would take a true story about a person saving Jewish people from Nazi underpinnings and bring Santa Claus into it.
I know
It's like-
it's really tasteless when you think
it's
about it.
It's not good.
It's kind of
It's really very insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the lesson. Stop at one movie.
Yeah.
Which means you'll never get to watch a movie because they will
So
never make
true.
100 of
That's
them.
true.
Or you'll never be in one. Unless they make a movie called 101. Dalmatian.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
I bet
That's
James-
my favorite movie. It's the only one I've ever seen.
I'll bet James Bond movies will make it to 101.
Probably. Yeah.
No.
It'll take a while, but they'll get
You think
there.
he's going to get canceled before then?
I think it's insane that we have had a James Bond movie come out in the last 10
It
years.
is kind of strange,
It's
isn't it?
really
That's like-
weird.
Somehow that kept itself alive.
Yeah. Do you want to see a fucking drunk, chauvinist white guy
Yeah, drunk sexist.
beat a foreign person up? Beat them up?
No, but he's got like a laser in his watch.
Yeah.
We've all
I
got
mean-
better technology than he
Yeah.
ever did.
Yeah. I have a watch that is a VR.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey,
James
James
Bond's-
Bond versus aliens. That's how you do it.
That's how you bring him back. That's how you bring him back. Thank God I would have missed him so much.
I wanted Ernest versus Predator.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, there would have been like a serious, gritty, earnest movie by now if he had
Right.
not
Oh my
died.
gosh.
Okay, look, we gotta do it.
Starring Ryan Gosling.
Ernest in the mirror or something.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. Hulu puts out Ernest in the Mirror. It's a 4-part miniseries, hard drama.
Mm-hmm.
Who plays Ernest? And it's not Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, like Jim Varney being dead, who plays
Yes,
Ernest.
we have to because it's young Ernest. It's how he becomes Ernest.
Right.
He meets Vern in episode 3.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling was my vote.
I do. It's hard to top that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Great.
All right, Ryan
So
Gosling.
yeah. So we got that
Everybody
down.
loves him.
Yeah.
Maybe Idris Elba. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Now,
Come on.
that's not my Ernest.
Over Ernest. Oh, that's perfect.
We just apologized for the Schindler's List thing, and what's the twist, Jay?
Water kills them. Water kills the aliens.
Oh yeah, you're right. And also, God told you them
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Through
No,
through
was
it.
that part of it?
Yeah, well, his dead wife.
never
His wife
finished
is like pinned, is dying like from a car accident, and she's like just kind of muttering nonsense.
Is this in a flashback?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he tells Joaquin Phoenix or whatever, it's like she's saying, "Swing away." She must have been remembering one of your old baseball games or something, and then later it's like, "Oh, that's why my daughter's been leaving half full cups of water all over the place."
Because of Swing Away?
Because God is setting up all the pieces for them to defeat the alien that's in their house.
Sorry, folks. You got to stick around for a minute or two.
So this is the science cast now.
I fell asleep partway through Signs. I was enjoying it, but then I fell asleep. I was tired.
That's probably good because it's like 3/4 a good movie.
Yeah, I think to
think it's a
me
great
Signs
movie.
was a
you
good
like
movie.
it?
I'm a huge
I
fan.
like it up until the end.
It would be a whole thing of what we can and can't apologize for about M. Night Shyamalan. I think
like
we
every
each
episode.
have our own. But in Signs, we go to a flashback where his wife says "swing away."
She's saying a bunch of stuff that seems like nonsense and ends up being.
It's like coincidence.
yeah.
Like that's too crazy to be coincidence. Too important.
Yeah.
And so then that leads us to that God did.
Well, because he was a priest, and then he stops being a priest because his wife dies, and then at the end he is like, "Oh, actually, I like God again."
Okay, I
And
forgot that.
he does his tie, I guess, whatever he's
right.
doing.
He does his tie really, really
Yeah,
small.
he just like get that thing nice and tight.
Okay. All right, great. Well then,
So, I think we've
like
covered a lot.
Seems like it all worked.
I mean, that's,
It all worked out.
Do you, twists aside from that?
Oh,
Anybody?
twist of this episode. I mean, I could say, like, we were all UFOs the whole time and then turn us into a little ball of light that all scoots away.
I don't think you want to do the whole time kind of twist. I'm tired of those.
Well,
How about a twist that isn't the whole time?
You like a twist that was like...
I was a ghost like halfway through the movie. I died off screen like halfway through the movie.
Remember that thing I told you at the beginning of this conversation? Yeah. Nope.
I just decided to become Kaiser Soze about a half hour ago.
As I was telling the whole story of Kaiser Soze, I realized he's really cool. Yeah. So I'm him now. Nah, I think it's good. I think we're good twist-wise, unless you've got anything else.
I don't have a twist. I was trying to come up with one, but I couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's all the work.
It's hard to come up with a twist.
Yeah, that's why people don't give M. Night Shyamalan enough respect.
That's why. And that's the bonus lesson of this episode is
people don't give M. Night Shyamalan enough respect.
M. Night Shyamalan.
The twist is he's made a bunch of shitty movies.
That is also the twist on top of that
actually, twist. I hate, like, this is going to make me really seem like a Shyamalan apologist. I always was wondering, like, well, how is he still making movies? This is probably going to get completely cut out.
No.
Well, I think he just started, like, making them cheap with his own money, and then people liked them.
That's what I was, because, like, every movie is like, what the fuck? It's just like, and then I looked at the gross from every movie makes like,
people go see him.
Yeah, I don't think
people go see him. A, because they know his name, and B, because they're sort of like, let's see how he fucks it up this time.
Right.
No,
but also, look, I'm a bit of a Shyamalan apologist myself. I want
to go see his new one.
I think for the first like 5 in a row, he pretty much nailed it, and then he fucked up, and he fucked up like 3 or 4 times. Then he made a good one. Then he got too high on his own supply, and then he fucked up, and then he made a good one, and then he keeps doing that. Every
you don't know
4
which
movies.
One's going to be good. And that's why people go to see every one of them. You make it's genius.
That's the suspense of his movies. It's like, is this going to suck or not?
It's the twist of his entire career. Is he can make good movies sometimes. But I think what he should do next is just go on a stand-up tour and just do Rodney Dangerfield's act, where he talks about how he doesn't get respect.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That would have killed 30 seconds ago.
What, can't laugh now?
Nope.
No, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. And this feeling right now that we're feeling at the table and that you're feeling at home,
what to say or do.
This is what it would be like if you saw a UFO in your life.
That's true. You would be just flummoxed.
Yeah. Just sort of wouldn't know, like, what do I do now? Is this
end
the show?
Do I like his movies? Or
should I have made the joke even though I knew it too much time had passed?
Right. So do these just normally kind of peter out like this? Or?
Kinda,
we like to keep it alive a little bit longer too, just drag it out a little bit more.
Yeah. We are like having a lot of fun, and then we do all the thing, and then it sort of is like, anything else? Mm-hmm. No.
Well, we want to be sure.
That's true. You don't want to end a podcast with potential content gone unmined.
That's right.
Yeah, that is one beautiful thing about this episode is normally it's like, we're talking about towels. We'll never be able to talk about towels ever again, so hopefully we got everything we have to say about towels out. But with this one, we know...
Couldn't possibly. Even if we could do 100 more episodes and still not get to the bottom of this.
Absolutely.
And a DVD commentary.
Yeah.
Yes. And check back next week. We will be doing the commentary for this episode.
Right.
And just check back every week. It's coming out either this week or really soon, so just keep watching episodes.
This is part of the sign-off that I say.
And it's part of the sign-off that I say, and we'll talk about aliens again one day.
And they didn't tell me what to say here, so I'm not.
Hello there. It's almost the end of the show, but not quite. I'm Zac Caffrey.
I'm Jason Ford.
And you just watched the episode of Metaphiles that you watched. And now you're seeing this, and it's the part where we say, it's like us, subscribe to us, comment about it.
Get on our shit.
Get on it. build a little community with us. You're all a part of it. It's a nice little world we have here.
It's just a big ball of liking and subscribing and comments.
And it's wonderful to do. And you like doing it. You do.
You do.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
And this week, why not make a comment about bye.
Bye-bye.
Files.